Hey guys, it's Finn here. That is of course FYWN. I know this isn't my normal setup, this is my old setup, but the normal room that I do use is being occupied for the next few days.
Buddy, in there? Occupado!
So I'm going to just be recording here, and this is the new series I've been talking about. I've told you I wanted to start my normal prediction series where I predict every week, I predict the match week results.
Wow.
So this is going to be match week 1 of the Premier League, where I talk about all the results that I think will happen this week. And yeah, let's just get straight into this. First of all, it is going to be Liverpool versus Norwich. I think it's going to be a 4-1 win to Liverpool. I know that's quite a high score, but I just see Liverpool as such a strong team. The only reason I see Norwich getting a goal is because of how good their midfield and their attack is, which I've spoken about before. I just think it's very good, but once again, the defense and the goalkeeper isn't good enough to block out 4 goals.
That's not very nice.
I can really just see Liverpool having a really good goal fest and really starting the season off strong. It could potentially set them up for a really good start to the Premier League, and just let's see if it carries on. Second game is going to be Manchester City versus West Ham. It's going to be an away game. I could see City winning it 3-0 just because of how strong they are. Their team is looking absolutely incredible. They were looking pretty decent in preseason. Of course, they just won the Community Shield against Liverpool. But yeah, just overall they are looking really good. But I don't think Harler, the new striker for West Ham, is going to start off with a goal yet. I think it's going to take a game or two for him to get his first goal, but otherwise I do see it being very, very strong start for City. And of course, for the last 2 seasons, West Ham has lost their opening game 4-0, and let's hope it's not a repeat for them again, because that is going to be absolutely dreadful. Third game is Bournemouth versus Sheffield United. I'm going for Bournemouth 2-0 win against Sheffield United. Look, Sheffield United do have Jagielka in defence and Dean Henderson, the Manchester United loanee, in goal. But past that, I don't really see them competing that much in comparison to Bournemouth. I see Bournemouth as very strong. I can see them scoring 2 goals because of the likes of King and Wilson up front. Fraser could get an assist, and because they do have Aka at the back along with Begovic, I can see them getting a clean sheet, their first clean sheets of the season. So 2-0 to Bournemouth. Burnley versus Southampton, I see it being 2-1 to Southampton just because of how strong they are looking. Their attack's looking very good, and they're just a very well-rounded team.
Wow, is very nice.
And I just do see them as a stronger team than Burnley. I just see them much faster, much pacier, and I think Southampton's going to start off strong this Premier League campaign. And let's hope they do end up doing well this season compared to other seasons. Which, by the way, if you guys have not seen, I have uploaded my Premier League 2019-20 Premier League prediction video where I predict what I think the table is going to be at the end of the season. I think it's a really good video of mine. You guys can check that up. I'll put it up at the eye thingy above for you to click on, and in the description below if you want to watch that. Next up is Crystal Palace versus Everton. I think it's going to be 2-1 to Everton. I think it's going to be a very, very close game, but at the end of the day, I think Everton's just a much better team. They do now have Keane from Juventus, the new Italian striker, as the signing. I think that's a really strong signing, and I think they're pretty keen to start him.
This is great banter. It really is.
But overall I just see Everton being a very strong team. Of course, Crystal Palace do have Gary Cahill now. That did catch me off guard. I didn't expect them to get him. But I don't think Crystal Palace will do that well because they did just get rid of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think their defense is going to be shaky. That's why they're going to concede 2. Yet Gary Cahill's a very good defender. That's why I don't think they're going to concede 3 or 4. And they have not lost Wilfried Zaha, which is very good for them. That's where I think the goal could come from. But at the end of the day, I think it might be too late in the transfer window for them to lose Zaha, because of course then they have to get a good replacement. Watford versus Brighton. Of course, Watford just got in their first final in many, many years where they were absolutely thrashed by City. But I do think they will beat Brighton, because just at the end of the day, Brighton's just an absolutely dreadful team. And Watford is a very strong team when it comes to the front, when it comes to the midfield. I'm not too sure about the defense in my opinion, but the goalkeeper as well. So overall, I just think Watford just have a much better team, and they do have the ability to knock 3 past Brighton, and I think they could get a major 3-1 win. Next up, Spurs versus Villa. I think it's going to be a 2-1 to Villa. 2-0 to Spurs. I do think Spurs are going to come away with the win. They did get to the Champions League final, looking very, very strong as a team in total. I just don't see Spurs losing, especially if Harry Kane is fit, if Lucas Moura is fit, if Eriksen, who's been linked to United, is fit. I just see Spurs winning it all day, every day. And of course, we're going to have to see what the new goalkeeper for Villa. Let's see if he can keep the heat on. But I don't think he's going to be able to for this game because of how strong Spurs are looking. I think they're going to do well in the league. I do think Villa are going to struggle in the beginning of the Premier League just to get used to it, but just a small 2-0 win. Leicester versus Wolves, of course. Leicester have just lost Harry Maguire, and I think that's going to be a big blow to them. Of course, if you want to see if I think Harry Maguire is worth £80 million, you guys can check that video up above and in the description. But overall, I don't think Leicester are going to struggle too much without him because they now have the money to buy in at least decent centre-backs in replacements if they can do that before the season starts. But overall, I still think they have a very strong team with Vardy, Tielemans is now there, Ndidi, Chilwell, Schmeichel. It's just overall such a really, really strong team, and I can't see them losing to Wolves, but at the same time, Wolves is really super strong all around, and I can't see them losing to Leicester, so I'm going to go for a 1-1. It's the first draw I have of this whole match prediction. Second last is Newcastle versus Arsenal. It's going to be played at home for Newcastle, so I do think they will score at least one goal, but I think Arsenal will win the day with a 2-1. I think they are going to be the stronger team.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting to see how Pepe plays for Arsenal, but I do think he will get an assist or two. But overall, I do see it being a slightly closer game than it should be, just purely because Arsenal hasn't spread any cash or spent any cash on defense yet. But if they did, I'd give it a more comfortable win. But until they spend money on their defense, which is beyond shaky, I am going to have to make it a bit closer and do a 2-1 for Arsenal. And final game, I am going to put Chelsea versus Manchester United. Of course, I don't want to be too biased, and it's very hard to not be biased as a football fan. But I can see United coming away with the win. I can see it being a 2-0 win. Now, before you boo me, before you say whatever you want to say, I'm just saying this purely because they have lost their best attacker in Eden Hazard, who would provide the assists as well as long with goals. And they don't have a proper big name striker up front. So that's really big goals missing for the team overall, and I do see them struggling without those kind of players. And as I said, just the defense of United is so strong, so I can't see them really scoring against United if they don't have proper attackers, and if our defense is so strong. Now that Harry Maguire is there, Lindelof, Shaw, and Wan-Bissaka, and of course big man Dave, I can't see them really scoring past them. But I can see Rashford maybe getting a goal, Martial maybe getting a goal to make it a 2-0 win. But once again, that is just my opinion, and that's the beauty of football. It is totally unpredictable. And of course, Lukaku is being caught training in Anderlecht in Belgium until he can find a new team or something like that. Good luck to him if he does move, but it's not the end of the world in my opinion if he does stay, because he is a very strong player on his day. But guys, this is just my prediction. Please subscribe, like if you are new and you do enjoy this and you do want this every week. I will try do it if I'm not too busy with school. But guys, I hope you enjoyed. This has been Finn, FYNN. Cheers, stay awesome.